The Seattle Seahawks have been a quality team for a long time. Pete Carroll and staff has done a great job, in my mind, of bringing them and making them a really the Seahawks are always competitors. Let's be real about something. The Seahawks are always competitive. They're not. They're what was it? I saw it on ESPN. They had at least a winning record in at least the last 9 seasons. I mean, that's you don't get to a certain level of excellence without that. That's certainly a prime example. But Pete Carroll, I need to figure it out right now. Okay. Pete Carroll is 145 and 94 and 1 in the NFL. Has nearly a 61% winning percentage, .606 winning percentage in the NFL. He's 11 and 10 in the playoffs. Has been to 2 Super Bowls, including winning 1 and stomping out the Broncos that year. That was incredible. And if I'm being quite honest, I think he is an absolute. He's a heck of a coach. So, and we need to be absolutely real about that. So, at the end of the day, I do fully think that the Seahawks are always going to be in contention. They are always going to be a tough team to play, and I think that's just kind of that's the way it's going to go because they're always they're the Seattle Seahawks, and that is what Pete Carroll has made them out to be. Now, I do have to be honest about something, and I think that it's something I needed to say from the very beginning, and it's this: watch out for the Seattle Seahawks in 2021. For the last couple seasons, they've been close. They have been they're always in the playoffs. They're always on the fringe. But I think this year's could be a special year for the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, you have Russell Wilson there, who is not only always in the MVP conversation, but always seems to play his best football when it's on the line. At least from my perspective, i.e., look at the Vikings game from last year. Also, you have Chris Carson, Rashad Penny out there at running back. You have DK Metcalf, who, by the way, I think is putting himself very solidly in the conversation for the best young wide receiver in the entire NFL. Also have Tyler Lockett, who gets frankly, I think it's an absolute shame. You have Kate Johnson out of there and Dwayne Eskridge. Now, they didn't have a lot of draft picks this year, but I don't think they need a ton. And I think a major question for the Seahawks has clearly been their offensive line, and I understand. But I think Dwayne Brown's still got a little bit left. He's still, I think he's still a quality player in the NFL. You got Damian Lewis moving from the right side to the left, I believe, from my recollection. And I thought he showed a lot last year. You also got Ethan Posich coming back. And rounding out that center position for you. I think he's a solid center. I wish the Vikings would have drafted him and or went after him this last year, but it is what it is. Gabe Jackson still has something left in the tank, and Brandon Shell, I believe from my recollection, had over a 74 PFF grade last year as well. So when you count all that together, clearly it's one of the most dangerous offenses. Actually, it was a 72.7 there for Brandon Shell. Context is everything. That's what we always preach here on this channel. But when we talk about the Seattle Seahawks, we know they're going to put up probably anywhere from 28 to 30 points a game. They're just that talented offensively. They've got the weapons, and I don't foresee that changing anytime soon, especially for this year. Gerald Everett and Will Dissly are going to be solid players at tight end for the Seahawks as well. So when you talk about all these players coming down, and all this talent that the Seahawks have, it's very, very clear that their entire offense is just it's one of the best offenses in the league. You can't debate it anymore. It is what it is. Then you go to the opposite side of the football, the defensive side. You talk about a guy like Poona Ford, who I believe is one of going to be in that discussion, just like fellow teammate Tyler Lockett for being one of the most underrated football players in the entire NFL. Also, I mean, Bobby Wagner just continues. I mean, I feel like he absolutely just continues just to do his thing, and I'm super ecstatic for him because he's getting up there in age, but he's still doing his thing. You got Kerry Hyder, who had 9 sacks last year. I think I was kind of on the fence about Kerry Hyder for a while there, but seeing what he did with the 49ers last year, having 8.5 sacks rather, excuse me, I was ecstatic about it. And I think he's a guy that's going to get constant pressure on the quarterback, and he's going to continually do a lot for that defense. So you got your edge players. Carlos Dunlap clearly is no slouch. You also got Jordan Brooks, who I believe we made a video about, by the way, and I think he's going to be amazing. You also got Bobby Wagner filling out that middle, and then Ben Curvin. And then also Jamal Adams, who they traded for, I love, and I think, don't worry, Seahawks fans, he's going to be worth it. He's absolutely going to be worth it. Akilla Witherspoon, Quandre Diggs, DJ Reed. This defense, it has the pieces. it has the pieces to make some damage, and I think people need to remember that, and also just take heed of, yes, that's an offense reference to that, because all around this offense and defense rather, this team is ready to go. They are a team that is constantly in the conversation, or at least in the playoffs, and has a winning record, and is constantly a force in that NFC West. Now they've got teams to contend with. I think obviously the 49ers, now that they'll be healthy and have people back, I think this is going to could be a big year for the 49ers as well. But nothing that the Seattle Seahawks can't handle. And I fully expect the Seattle Seahawks to not only make the playoffs, but be a force in the NFC. And that's why you got to watch out for the Seattle Seahawks. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Make sure you guys also check out our website at thesportsbeatpodcast.com. In the description down below, you will find links to all of our social media platforms and handles, so you can give us a follow there. If you would like us to cover anything, make sure you also send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com. But with that, also, last but certainly not least, give us a sub and listen on iTunes. We greatly appreciate it. But let us know what you think about the Seattle Seahawks and our message of watching out for the Seattle Seahawks.